Hey everyone, Stephanie here, coffee drinker, book lover, and reviewer of many things, and today I have a book review for you. I read Willow and the Lost Day by Dominique Valente, I believe is how you say, and this is the first book in the Starfell series, and I might pick up the second one later in life, not positive yet, thinking about it. I did like it. And I think if I was a middle grade or a teenager, I would have gobbled this thing up. But was this book made? Yeah, 2019. Anyway, I'm going to read you the summary of the book and then I will read my review for you. It was an ordinary Friday in the land of Starfell when Willow Moss, an most ordinary witch, received the most extraordinary visitor. Willow's magic has always seemed unremarkable, but when the most feared witch in the whole of Starfell appears on the Moss family doorstep looking for her help, it's not Willow's talented sisters she seeks, but Willow. Because Willow is a finder of lost things, and Morig, I think is how you say her name, Vane, says that last Tuesday has gone missing. Willow and Morig, Morag, Morag, Morag. Willow and Morag set out on a perilous adventure across the wilds of Starfell, looking for what they've lost. If they don't discover what happens on the missing day, the repercussions could be devastating to the entire kingdom. Can Willow find the day to save the day? And then it says, magic never dies. It simply waits until we're ready. I just thought this was such a cute book. And the emotions in the book. Okay. We'll get to that. Okay. So, on to my really fast. This is Willow Moss, and that is her carpet bag with Oswin. And Oswin is a cobalt cat, but he does not like to be talked about as a cat. He is a monster that lives under the bed. This is straight up a chapter book, by the way. There are no pictures. Okay. Smacked myself in the face. Ouch. First. Bookish soul. Me with hobbies. Anyway, I got a bunch of stickers in and I had to show you what I did because my last book that I read was number 40. And every 10 books I get to decorate. And thought it was nice. Title. Oh, here. Title: Willow Moss and the Lost Day. Author: Dominique Valente. I believe is how you say her last name. I'm pretty sure I'm saying the first name right. The day I started this was April 15th, 2026, and I finished this today when I'm recording, April 29th, 2026. Yes, I didn't write it down. I forgot what day it was. I just had to look at the bottom of my corner of my computer screen to tell you what day it was. I'm giving this a 3.5 stars, maybe a little bit more than a 3.5 stars. And I'll tell you why later. Would I recommend this? Yes. Yeah, it's a pretty cute book. Genre, middle grade children fantasy. The back of the book, sometimes it tells you where the publisher name is, like what you would find it under. Like, this one says HarperCollins Children's. I have some HarperCollins teen books back there. Like, it says children's, which is why I added children's, but whenever I looked it up online, it says middle grade. So, an older child. This had 215 pages in it and 21 chapters. More by this author. The rest of the series of Starfell. I think there's 3 books right now, but I think there's supposed to be a 4th book coming out. From what I've gathered, I don't know. Could be wrong. She wrote a short story in some adult books. One called Very Merry Murder Club and Super Sunny Murder Club. My favorite character. I am still deciding who my favorite character is. I think it's Oswin. I think it's her little cobalt cat thing. But it might be Feathered Tongue. Look, Feathering, I think was his name. The dragon. Dragons will always be my favorite. um, the book that I'm currently listening to has dragons also. That one is not a children's book. My favorite quote in this book was, "Fear, my girl. It's more powerful than any magic in the world. It's what's holding you back right now. The fear that you won't be powerful." There's more. Like, I wanted to write the whole entire paragraph because it's something that her grandma tells her when she's little. We don't know how old she is right now, but we get flashes from when we know that in the book it tells us that her grandma came and lived with her when she was 5, and when she was around 9, which is the age that her older sister started going to the market, the midnight market with Mom. And I said Mum because I believe they're like, what is it? It's England. Our author is from England. Mum. Anyway, her mom was like, "No, you can't come," because she wasn't old enough. And she's like, and so she was home crying about her powers and how people call her fetch. And grandma, we keep seeing flashbacks. So in one of the flashbacks, it's grandma comforting her and like, don't worry about it, and trying to give her a happy day. And then another flashback. There is a fuzz. Sorry, it's bothering me. There's another flashback, and it's this one because grandma's like, because she's like, my powers aren't good enough, and they call me fetch, and boo hoo, and thinking bad about herself. And grandma's like, you know that you're lucky. You're lucky. And she's like, grandma doesn't know what she really is crazy, which is why crazy old grandma with green hair had to come live with them because she blew up a cave with her potions or something like that. And she's like, anyway, grandma explains that they're living in a time where not everyone in a magic family is born with magic. And it even sometimes skips complete generations, which we meet someone later. that's like this, or like that, and that she should be lucky that she got power because her mom has like a seer power. It's not. That's a spoiler. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Um, her mom has a seer power. Her oldest sister can, I believe, can move things with her mind, and then the middle sister can blow things up or cause them to like explode. And dad doesn't have any powers from what we know of. But grandma was really good with potions, and so it should be said that she is lucky that she got any power. And yeah, so grandma is giving her a little history lesson on how some people that magic power used to be all over the place. Everyone used to have it. And then there were some people that didn't have it and didn't want to learn the lower magics, like just potions, plants. I don't know, botany. There you go. I was like, that word. And she's like, of course she questions it. She's like, why would anyone be scared of power? And they have a very nice discussion about fear. And I was like, I just want to like copy and paste this to share with the world. Anyway, that's a bit more than I meant to say. My review. My coffee's getting cold and it's almost gone. Willow is treated lesser than by her family, except Grandma, because she has a lesser magic. She can only summon lost things. And this is very important. It has to be lost for her to find it. So we learn throughout the book that she loses things on purpose so that she can summon them to her later. And it's really smart. Okay? Really smart. Um, so she has always been left at home to take care of her grandma and to clean the house. She started taking on clients to find things for them, and her sisters were they usually tried to like scare them off from what we understand when they were home. Um and then the most powerful witch shows up because Tuesday is missing. Last Tuesday. In fact. So Willa goes with her and finds her voice and does things that she thinks is scary while meeting new people and making friends. Um, at one point, she has to talk to her mom. Right. At one point, she has to talk to her mom and her sisters, and they don't believe her. Her mom has her mom's friend, that like lives at the night market, lock her in her house. And that's where she meets a new friend named Essential. And I'll explain why her name is Essential in a minute. Essential immediately, once hearing what happened, decides to help. And then we keep running into a lady who used to be friends with her grandma a long time ago, and it seems a little random. It seems random, and it is. And the story could have kept going without meeting this lady, except every time we meet this lady, Willow remembers something and feels sad, but she doesn't understand why she feels sad. as an adult reading this kid's book, you start to figure it out. Okay. Um, the end is a little sad, but great. I absolutely loved the ending of this book. You will you find out what Willow you find out what Willow was missing, and you get to see her family's reaction when they learn about her new friends. Um, as a little um warning, I guess, this book does talk about death. It has some I'm gonna say like racism and classism in it, but not how we know it, because we meet a dragon and we meet a troll. And the way the troll is treated by her family and the way Willow is treated by her family is very similar, but at the same time, you see. How do I say it without giving it away? Okay, everyone knows that trolls eat humans. Mm-hmm. This troll, her name is Calamity. She is not a normal troll. She was born with magic, and she doesn't like doing things that trolls do, like vegetables. She has a garden that her family destroyed when they found it. Um, yeah. Also, I already told you how Willow was treated by her family. Think Calamity has it worse because trolls are supposed to be mean, and she's a sensitive being. Normally, trolls aren't. So when we meet her, she's crying. Okay, she's so sweet. I want more of her story, and that's what like the people, the beings that Willow meets, the friends that she makes, is the reason why I might pick up the next book. I can find it. Because I want to know more. Um, Also, Morag. I don't know how to say her name. Anyway, the most evil witch in the place, the town. She is also a seer, and we we don't spend much time with her, to be honest. Like they get they get to a kingdom, like a town that has sworn off magic, and she gets taken in. She gets arrested, and like there's like this whole thing. It's kind of funny because the cuffs get put on her, and they're magic cuffs. And Will is like, but if y'all don't use magic, what do you think is in these? Like, they're glowing blue. And he's like, well, we had to have something to lock up the magic people. And she's like, but, but that's magic. And he's like, we have barrier around, like, it's hilarious. She's like, so you do use magic? He's like, no, magic is outlawed. And she's like, so there's like this little circle moment, and Morag is like, okay, I knew the rule, I knew the law. Take me, but she didn't know the law. She's a child. How could she have known? And he's like, right. And so he cuffs her, and the cuffs fall off, and she's like, it's okay, I'll just hold them. She's like, I'll just hold them on, okay? And he's like, right. um, and after that, we don't see, she's not with us until the end of the book. Like, hold on. I think she's only in the book for like maybe 5 chapters. She's in the first 6 chapters, and then she pops back in on chapter 19, but you're just learning stuff about her. And then she's in 20, and then she comes back at the end of 21. She's at the end of 20 and the end of 21. And so she's not even, she doesn't even go on the adventure. Um, but it's a really cute book. I don't, yeah, it was a good book. I do recommend it. Like I said, I gave it like 3.5 stars, but that's because some of the stuff in the book, it felt like, oh, we're just trying to make this book longer. I figured out what she was missing before the end of the book did. I figured out what she lost on Tuesday. Before we found out. So she's alone in the house when Morrig shows up. Her dad is gone at work, and her sisters had just left with mom. She's alone. But when she talks about how she's been taking care of grandma since she was 5. And I was like, you didn't say goodbye? And then we started having flashbacks of grandma, and every time she would have flashbacks, after we'd see the flashback, she would feel there was something missing or she was sad. And in my mind, I was like, just summon grandma. Um, that that might have been. Anyway, but I figured out grandma was and why. Before we found out at the end. And it is so great because, I mean, not that grandma wasn't there. It's great because the town was lined up. When time reverses itself, because obviously she found the last day, or else there wouldn't be more books because the town or the kingdom would have exploded or something like that. I don't. They talk about it briefly. But when she comes to back where all of it started on Friday, she's in the garden and there's a crowd of people here to talk, to ask for her help, to support them in their sad time. And when she's all of a sudden standing in her garden, and she's like, and tears burst in her eyes, and she feels like a pit in her stomach. And if you've ever felt grief, that's what she feels. And then she's like, why? Like, she doesn't understand why she feels this way at first. And then she hears someone in line say, I heard witches weren't supposed to ask for money in the first place. They're not supposed to profit from their gift. And Willa is like, this has already happened. Like, in her head, she's like, this has already happened. What's going on? And then it all floods back to her. And she starts crying because obviously she's grieving. But just like the Friday before everything was fixed, her older sister's like, "Who told you that?" Oh, also in the beginning of the book, Willow is very like quiet and, oh yes, okay, very like, oh, I'm gonna undercharge you for this and all that stuff. And okay, so at the end of the book, the dragon comes and visits and is like, "Look, you helped me." And his something happened so that because they lost Tuesday, his egg didn't hatch, and the Wednesday after that, his mate left because the baby didn't hatch or something like that. Anyway, it's a little confusing. I don't understand it. And so he comes to visit. Of course, that scatters a bunch of people because dragon. And he's like, "Honestly, people, I'm a cloud dragon. We don't eat people." And he makes a joke to Essential. um she's like, "Don't," he's like, "I don't," he says, "I don't eat people. That's just like one bite or one gulp or something like that." And she's like, and Willow's like, "That's only funny if you're a dragon." Like, um anyway, so Feathering is the dragon's name. He shows up with his baby and his mate, or his partner, whatever. And they thank her and they're like, "Oh, we passed Calamity and her family, and she's been accepted back in, and it looks like they're even going to let her be herself, and that's so sweet," and all that stuff. And yada yada yada. And when they leave, um her mom is like, "Help? Trolls? What what are you talking about? How did you help them?" She's like, mom demanding. And Willow is like, "It's a long story. Maybe someday I'll tell you." And I was like, her mom kind of deserves it. I'm just saying. And after a little bit of talking, like, Willow is like, "Oh, and actually, I've decided that I am going to raise my price," and tells them the new price, and it's like what she should be making. And she looks at her sisters and she's like, "Spread the word." And they're like, her sister's like, "I don't know what's going on with you today, but like, I'm surprised." And she's like, "You just don't seem like yourself." And then Morrig shows up and they're like scared of her. And she's like, "Oh, hey," and like hugs her and like Morrig gives her her broom and they have a nice little chat. And she's like, "I'm sorry about your grandma," and all of that stuff. And her sisters are just, and her mom is "What the heck happened?" Like, and the thing is, there's a point in the book where she goes to her mom and tells her that she needs help. And her mom is like, "No, you are lying." And even the Cobalt, who is a lie detector, is like, she's not lying. And the past seer, I don't know what to call him, tells her, like, this man who is like a great powerful wizard tells her, and she's like, "Y'all are all crazy. Y'all are all lying." And then Willow ends up using some potions that make her forget, and yeah. Um, so they could have been in the loop, but they weren't. Um, Good book. I enjoyed it. Definitely a good. It could be for your junior high kid. Recommend. I don't know what else to say. Otherwise, I'd be giving away the whole book. Also, I want her dress, and I want her. Oh, Essential Jones. I never told you. Essential Jones was where her mom had her locked up, um, in her friend's house. Her friend, I can't remember, Rubik's, I think was the name of this lady, had taken in this child because she was the only one who had magic. And her mom had been trying for a girl. She was the only one that had magic in the family, but her mom had been trying for a girl. She has 5 older brothers, and when she was born, they were like, "Oh, she has powers." And her mom was like, "No, you can't take her. She's essential." And, and Rubik's thought they were, she was saying her name is essential. So, Essential Jones was what she got stuck with. And she has the power to freeze, but only for like a second. It's She's like, "It's not very useful. One time I froze a bucket coming towards my head. It had water in it. I still got drenched, and the bucket hit me." And she raises her hair, and she has like a scar. Like, yeah. Um, she's helpful. And anyway, so I want her dress. It's supposedly it's a dark color, and it has stars and moons on it. Basic witchy dress. Yeah, this book was good. It was part of the 2026 preteen teen reading challenge. So I got another one marked off. And if you want to do the reading challenge with me, I'm also doing an adult reading challenge and a children's reading challenge. I will leave those challenges down in the description box. It's a Google Doc, so it's free to you if you have Google Docs, I guess. I know you can click on it and print it out. I don't know if you can save it to your stuff and then like check things off digitally. I don't know how that works. I'm not a techie person. I barely get these videos made. um, I'm doing my best. And I'll also leave a link on how to get this book. I got mine from the library, but I will leave for Amazon or to Amazon. Uh, so that you can get it if you want it. I may get a few pennies for it depending on which kind how you get it. Anyway, and I appreciate it if you decide to use my link to buy a book. Let's see what else. Like this video if you liked this video. Comment below. Have you read this series? Is it the second book as good as the first book, or is it better? Is it worse? Is it worth picking up? Let me know. Are you doing this reading challenge with me? The preteen teen challenge? Um, I'm enjoying it so far, I think. Kind of, mostly. I wish that I would have done more books that I could get on audio so I could be through this already. But mistakes were made. It's all good. I'll survive. And go ahead and start commenting below. I'm looking for books for next year's reading challenge already. We're almost to the halfway part. We're almost to the halfway point of the year, which means I need to start preparing for next year so I can get it all typed up and ready for y'all. And subscribe. If you're not sure if you want to subscribe, you can click my face or my name, A Coffee Drinker's Review, and it should take you to my channel. And then you can check out my other videos. I do a lot of book review videos. I do places. I review things that I'm like, how come I didn't know about this? especially things that involve being a mom because I am a mom. Look, you see the setup back here? My kid was sitting in the pillow area, and she had stuffies in these chairs, and she was reading. Um, I am going to be in the future doing what I wanted to read in April versus what I read in April, and I'm going to be doing a NetGalley video soon because I'm almost done with Paint Me Like You're Dead Girls, I think is what it was called. And I'm going to be doing more book reviews. I was going to do a video on um the event that I went to recently, but I didn't finish decorating the book that I was decorating. And so this is what I got. I got the jewels on the letters. I was struggling. It's okay. I can finish it. I'm just not ready. And then I've been working on some artsy stuff. I'm making a little fairy house out of sticks and leaves, and I am trying to figure out how to cut shapes out of old CD that it was scratched, so we don't need it, and we got a new copy of it, so we don't need this one. But I'm going to make a wind chime type thing to put on my front patio because birds keep trying to build a nest over my front door. I have a bird nest on the back patio, and that's fine. They're up in the corner. They're not right above the door. But these birds at the front door keep trying to build a nest right on the door frame above my door. And I keep telling them they can't live there unless they're going to pay rent. So, gotta bring in some shiny stuff to scare them away from what I hear. Anyway, that's really all I have to talk about. Share this video if you're not sure, or if share this video if you know someone who wants to know about this series, or if you have someone or if you know someone who likes middle grade books and magical things. This is a good book. That's all I have to talk about. I'm going to finish this cold coffee now, and then edit this video so I can post it tomorrow. Oh, bye.